Imagine going to bed with an 8-hour English podcast playing. You close your eyes, and in the morning, you wake up, and your English is better. You're more fluent in English. Wouldn't that be amazing? Is this actually possible? Can you learn English while you sleep? Is this pseudoscience? Is this science fiction? It would be so amazing. Well, I've been researching this in depth because it would be cool if you could improve your English while you sleep. There are some things you can do according to science, and some things that may not work so well. So let me share with you what I learned. One of the things that sleep does is it consolidates what we experience, what we learn throughout the day. So it's not creating new knowledge, but it's basically doing a kind of file sorting process where it's putting stuff that's relevant that you learned into the right place, right? Moving it to long-term storage. The most important sleep phase for memory is called slow wave sleep. This is a deep stage of non-REM sleep. You've heard of REM sleep, where your eyes are moving fast under your eyelids. So this is a very specific phase in your sleep cycle where you're basically doing this consolidation as you sleep. There was a study in 2015 that found that playing previously learned Dutch words to German speakers during non-REM sleep boosted their recall of German translations by 10 to 14%. Now, that's pretty cool. So they're not learning anything new. It's not like they're playing a podcast and learning everything in the podcast. They learned stuff during the day and then heard something while they were sleeping that reinforced what they had already learned. Hearing the words that they had studied while sleeping seemed to help strengthen existing memories, but it's not providing or creating new memories. It's not giving you new vocabulary, right? You're not going to learn the word pusillanimous if you've never heard it before, if you hear it while you're sleeping. Now, the tricky thing with this is that timing matters. The audio needs to be timed correctly at the right moment. Playing the audio too soon after a word, for example, the translation too soon after the word, can erase the memory benefits and can even prevent you from learning that word, from remembering that word long term. However, they found that playing the translated word 1.5 seconds after the cue word allowed the brain enough time to process the memory properly, and they got the benefits. So this is very interesting. One thing that it says is that, yes, you can listen to something while you sleep, and it can help you. It can increase your ability to recall that thing. But it has to be the right kind of thing, and it has to be at exactly the right time. So if you want to try this, I would strongly recommend that you dip your toes in carefully. Don't just start listening to random stuff all night while you sleep. That can actually interrupt your sleep patterns and damage that important consolidation that happens when you sleep. So again, be very careful with that. And if you try it with maybe something like 1.5 second delay after specific words to try to remember those words better, if you feel like after a week of doing that, you're just not getting any better, stop doing it. Don't play with fire. Don't mess with your sleep cycles. It's dangerous. Now, what about pronunciation. Surrounding yourself with the language allows you to get a feel for the sounds of the language. Doing that while you sleep, isn't that a great way to kind of bathe yourself in the sounds so that you can get used to them? There is some evidence of that, specifically in infants. So when infants are young, their mothers will rock them to sleep and sing lullabies to them. Lullabies with rhythm, with usually a rhyme scheme because it's a song, right, with a pattern. This does help with language development in babies, specifically their ability to recognize the sounds, recognize and eventually learn the sounds of their language. These are called phonemes, the specific sounds that make up their language. That process in early childhood, being rocked to sleep, hearing sounds, is important. Now, there haven't been, as far as I know, any studies that show or prove the same for adults sleeping, that you could play rhythmic lullabies or something like that while you're sleeping and improve your pronunciation. Now, I suspect that if it's more like songs, right, not somebody speaking, trying to teach you something while you sleep, like a podcast, it wouldn't hurt. But as far as I know, there's no clear evidence that says, as an adult, you can improve your pronunciation while you sleep by listening to English. But maybe, because it's not clear where that cutoff is for babies, right, when they stop getting the benefits of being rocked to sleep. Although maybe it's, part of it is the interaction, right? It's not just audio playing that babies listen to. It's being rocked by their mothers, the interaction before they fall asleep, and the sounds of the lullaby. So perhaps if we all had, I don't know, a gigantic mother figure who could rock us to sleep every night, we would once again get the benefits of that while we sleep. I don't know. But I think this is all saying, essentially, if you want to do stuff while you sleep and expect results, don't hold out much hope. There may be limited benefits in recall of things that you already know, but the timing has to be very precise, and therefore it's a bit dangerous. Playing new words while you sleep probably won't work. It probably won't do anything. Sleep learning apps, sleep learning videos probably won't do anything. There may be a small chance that the mechanism of lullabies is still somehow working for you and could maybe help your pronunciation, but that's very unclear. And again, I think that could more likely disrupt your sleep. So essentially, relying on sleep learning instead of active learning is probably not a good policy. The final takeaway here, I think, sleep is good. Sleep is an important process for consolidating what you learn. So if you study for a couple hours before you go to sleep, or you learn a few things for a couple hours before you go to sleep, and you sleep well, that's your best chance of remembering what you've learned. I wouldn't mess with playing things while you're sleeping. Study in the evening for a while, and then sleep well. That's the best way to use sleep to improve your English. Anything else, improving your pronunciation, learning words, or even improving the recall of words while you sleep, the effects are going to be minimal and not even close to active learning while you're awake. So you're not going to wake up fluent just by playing English recordings at night. And in fact, it could mess up your sleep cycles. So I think the best bet is to just sleep well. Study while you're awake and sleep well at night with no distractions. Bad news, I know. Not what we want, but I think you probably already knew it. Deep down inside, we all know it. We can't just do stuff while we sleep. That would be super cool. I wish I could do all kinds of stuff while I sleep, but I can't because I'm asleep. And sleep is important. All right. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Get a free course in the links in the description. And check out the 90-day program, the best way to improve your English in 90 days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.